All right. Hello, knockouts. Tonya Tko here. And we just finished doing a live broadcast talking about, we were talking about, we were talking about men and the Tamika Keith situation where the man was making 10% of what the woman was making, and she paid for the honeymoon and all this other stuff. So we're starting up this video and we're going to be talking about this baby and her outfit. So I got the phone lines are open. I want to find out, how did this happen? How did things get this way? Um, how did I want to know, how did things become like this? When did we get to this point in our lives? For those of you who have not seen the picture, I'm going to show it to you right here. And it's the thumbnail of the video, but I want to take a few moments, and I don't want anybody to attack the baby because the baby is not the one who put herself in this outfit, right? So I'm going to show you what we have right here, right? All right. All right. So this is a picture. I posted this on my Facebook page earlier today, and there were people who didn't have an issue with it. There were some people who did have an issue with it. So basically, we have this baby, legs wide open with this bow on her head and this halter thing right there. So the baby's legs are open. Some of the people notice that the baby's shoes are on backwards. As you see, the logo is on the inside, and as you see, the shoes don't look just don't look right. And so somebody asked, are these bunny ears? It's a bow on top of her head. I have to admit, when I saw it, I thought they were bunny ears too, especially since the Playboy bunnies have a halter that looks somewhat like that. And they also have the little bati shorts. So we have this image right here. And the baby looks like she's sitting on the edge of I touched it by mistake, so I was about to open up that picture. Phone lines are open, 323-488-3149. I want to talk to somebody about this. I want somebody to call in and help me understand who thinks that this is appropriate. Is it just me? Is it you? How did something like this happen? And then, are we just too prudish? Are we too prudish? I think that something like this comes from a woman who had children too young, and she herself didn't really have an opportunity to live out her youth. So now she's vicariously living through this child. So you are on the air live with Tonya. What are your thoughts about this situation? First of all, what's your name?
My name is Angel. Hey, Tonya.
Hey, let me turn you up because that last caller was so loud I had to turn it down. So welcome in, Angel.
Tonya, sir, it's not just you. It's not just you.
Okay.
When I look at that picture, it reminds me of the Shirley Temple days. Remember back in the day when they used to have Shirley Temple in those similar outfits, rubbing on those grown men's faces? It was
No.
back then. It's not just you, sis.
When did Shirley Temple have a plunging neckline? When did Shirley Temple have a plunging neckline?
Look up some pictures of Shirley Temple when back in the day when she used to be on the TV rubbing those grown men's faces. She used to wear the same type of clothing. It's appropriate.
I need somebody email me if you know these pictures. When you come off the line, I want you to email me something because I want to see what you're talking about. I know Shirley Temple used to have on the short little dresses, but not.
So you don't remember the one when she used to dress up with the pearls? Oh, she had a whole series of movies. She used to actually dress up. She had one with a banana as a skirt. The banana thing is the skirt. I just talked about this a month ago. Trust me, the pictures are out there, honey.
What in the world?
Yeah, and that's what it put me in the mind of as soon as I saw it. I said, let me call and tell she's not crazy. You're not crazy. It's inappropriate.
So people are talking about the abuse that Shirley Temple endured. Okay, so people are saying
What's
Shirley Temple
that?
endured abuse. So it's one thing
Mm-hmm.
to be in the media. For those of you who want my vitamin E, it is available. This is the last week and I'm selling it. I sell it once a year. It's available on my website right now. So tonyatko.com/shop. So go and get that. So it's one thing to be in the industry and have to
Mm-hmm.
dress up for different roles or parts or feel pressure or all this other stuff. And it's a whole other thing for your parent to dress you up in
Mm-hmm.
something and put you on Instagram to become Insta famous or whatever the case may be with this picture. I
Right.
so
Um.
so go so that's so this I think there's a huge difference. What happened to Shirley Temple, and I don't know the full story, but I'm gonna look into it.
Mm-hmm.
And I also
It's very
saw,
interesting.
yeah, I also
Yeah.
remember there was
Mm-hmm.
a picture of a 9-year-old girl posed nude. Do you all remember that?
Hmm. No, what was that? I don't remember that
You
one.
know what I was going to
I
do?
seen some. Now I remember that. What's the little girl that got murdered? Renee.
Yeah, John
She used
Benet
to work with
Ramsey.
things. Yes, her. She used to work risky things also, but I've never seen anything nude on her. But that picture also reminded me of her as well. But she used to do the makeup and everything. But I'm interested to see who this little baby's parents is with the little girl sitting with her legs open. It just doesn't look right to me. It's not right. It's crazy.
Okay, so the biggest issue for you with this photo is the halter or the legs wide open.
It's everything. It's the outfit and it's the pose. It's sensual, like come get me. Yeah, that's what the pose is saying.
Yeah. All right.
I'm interested to even know who took the picture.
Yeah. It yeah.
Know what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
not. I have all boys, but still, it's just not. It's not. It doesn't look right.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I appreciate you calling in. Thank you for your point of view. We're opening up the phone lines for the next
Absolutely,
caller.
I love you.
I love you
Yes,
too,
ma'am.
Mama. Thank you.
Okay.
All
All
right.
right. Bye.
All right. So the phone lines are open. When I saw that photo, I really didn't know what to make of it. There's the liberal part of me that wants to see how that is okay, but then the overwhelming part of me, I just don't see how the pose that plunging. Because you know what? And then this is the question. Let's answer it. Let's okay. You're on the air live with Tanya, so we're talking about this baby's picture. What is your name?
Hi there, this is Anne Marie.
Hi,
Hi, Miss
Amory.
Tanya.
Hi. So, what are your thoughts about this photo?
Okay, well, I have a little 3-year-old girl,
Mm-hmm.
and I have to say, I have a lot of friends that also have little girls. We always in the play group and everything. I get called prude, and
Really?
I get called conservative because people say, "Oh, well, you don't allow her to wear, like a two-piece bikini in the summer." And, "Oh, what's wrong with this shirt?" or whatever else.
Wow.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, I'm so sorry. But yeah, it's definitely, I would say it's definitely the generation that are raising kids, young kids now,
Mm-hmm.
that they think it's okay for their kids to dress up like adults. I even have friends who let their little kids, like under 5 years old, put on mascara and eyeliner and
What?
things like that. Yes, yes, and they post pictures on Instagram and everything else. But it's not even. I think social media is the problem here.
Okay.
Like, I'm young. I grew up with social media. I understand that, a lot of people use it to connect with their families or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not okay with posting pictures of my children, for example, in their bathing suit, or like everybody has those bathtub pictures hidden somewhere away in their mama's house.
Yeah.
But I'm not okay with posting those pictures on Facebook where they are there forever.
Well, let me ask you
And
this
like have
question. And so that this is the title of the video is this picture inappropriate or just our minds? So now a baby inside of a picture inside of a bathing suit, right? Is it's innocent. Bathtub pictures, these are innocent. Um,
I would say that it's innocent if you're not posting these pictures kind of in a very Instagram post type of way to get views.
Okay. Okay.
Right? Because if you're at the beach, of course your daughter, your son or whatever, they're going to be in a bathing suit, and that's innocent. Being around your family is innocent. But
Yes.
when I'm taking a picture with the perfect lighting and the Instagram filters and
Yeah.
like the pose to me is what breaks the line here. I mean,
Okay.
obviously the plunging neckline doesn't help, but the pose to me is where it's like, okay, she
Okay.
didn't sit like that and say, Mama, take a picture. This isn't a baby smile at me. Oh, you're so cute. This is a, oh, yeah, that looks good for Instagram kind of a picture.
Right. That's the thing that was just like the lighting, everything. It was just the pose, everything about that just kind of just stuck out to me. So there's Cherry is saying those pics are innocent, but I'm telling you all kind of pervs are doing whatever they want with those pics. Okay.
Right,
But then
right.
but should our daughters live in a prison of should they live in a
I would
prison of
say
perception because there are perverts out there?
no, and it's just like I'm never going to tell my daughter you need to cover your entire body when you're walking out in public, right? That's not who I am. She's going to wear shorts in the summer. It's not going to be an issue, but I am posting this publicly on a giant platform that the entire world can see. I just need to be careful of what I'm putting out there because I'm automatically making my daughter a victim by doing that. So if I
Okay.
post a cute picture of her smiling innocently, I feel that, okay, I'm doing my duty as a mom to make sure I'm not putting her out there for whatever pervs to take this picture and do whatever with.
Right, but then let me ask
Right.
you this question. Do you think that the pervs need a suggestive photo or do they just need any type of photo? They they get off on the innocence of children. So there are some pervs that picture would be too sexy for them. They want a little girl with a lollipop and the Shirley Temple dress and pigtails. They don't want a plunging neckline because it's too sexy. They want the innocent pictures. So what do you do about that? Do you just never post any
I mean,
pictures of your child?
for me personally, that is a big reason why all of my stuff is locked down and private, and the only people that see it are people that I allow to see it. However, of course, there's going to be pictures on the internet of my kids somewhere. But I would just say that as a mom, I have to do my duty of making sure that I'm not going to overly sexualize my daughter, place her in a sexual pose, and take a picture to make it that much easier. You know,
Okay.
like, what it calls to mind that those pictures that when you were talking about that documentary, the abducted in plain sight, the pictures that the man had her
Oh
taking
yeah.
where her legs were spread open,
Yeah.
and it's like at the time the parents thought, oh, this is innocent, and then looking back they didn't think it was so innocent. They couldn't, they could have done something about that, obviously. But I
Yeah.
can't do anything about a perv taking my daughter's picture at the park, without me knowing.
Yeah,
But I'm
that's
not going to
true.
send her out into the world in a plunging neckline and tiny little booty shorts with a lollipop posing like that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I
So
feel
that's
you.
that's
So
uh that's all I wanted to say.
thank you so much for calling in. You have a great rest of your afternoon.
All right, you too.
All right. So the phone lines are open 323-488-3149. I want to hear your point of view about this photo. There are people who were saying that it's our minds as adults that are messed up. I want to hear from a person who thinks that the photo is okay. I want to hear why. I want to hear a different perspective. Let me just hold on for 1 second. I'm coming. Sorry. Okay, sorry about that. All right, so I'm back. I'm here. You're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name?
Hi, Tanya. It's Crystal. How are you, Tanya?
Hi, Crystal. How are you doing?
I'm well. Thank you very much.
Okay, so what are your thoughts on this photo? Do you think this is okay?
Oh, I don't. And I know you were looking for people to call in who felt that. I'm well. Thank you.
Oh no, I need you to listen to me over the phone. Whatever, the computer is going to be a little bit delayed. So turn down the volume on the computer and just talk to me on the phone. So,
Okay,
what are
are
your
we good now?
yeah, what are your thoughts?
So when I saw this picture, I was very saddened that this little girl was put in this situation. Of course, she has no control over this,
Right?
but it just made me feel like it's definitely for someone who is involved in pedophilia to really enjoy this picture. Um, I think that, like the previous caller said, parents today, definitely a different generation, and they're very liberal. Because of that, I think anything goes with some people. When it comes to children, especially our daughters, we
Yes.
definitely want to raise them in a way to where they're going to have respect for themselves, that they're going to demand respect for others. If we're already teaching them, hey, it's okay for you to dress this way, this is sexy. As she gets older, that is the impression she's going to carry. And what is that giving her? It's not helping her.
You know what?
What is the
Just
advantage? What's the benefit?
yeah, so let's talk about the respect. Because and I'm glad that I got you on the line because I definitely want to explore this topic of sexiness equaling a lack of respect. Let's explore that a little bit. So, you're saying that we want to teach our daughters to have respect for themselves. What is it about being sexy that demonstrate a lack of respect?
At that age, sexy is not necessary. Sexy is me with my husband, and we're behind closed doors, or me and him are walking hand in hand, going someplace. I'm
Right,
going
but
to look
let's
sexy for
let's
my husband.
right, let's talk about exposed body being a lack of respect. How is parts of your body showing equaling a lack of respect?
I believe as women, if we are commanding respect and we respect ourselves, we are not going to have our breasts overtly exposed. We are not
Okay.
going to wear skirts or shorts that are excessively short.
Right. So then
My
let's
grandmother used to tell
no
me
no
to
no no no
leave
no
something to the imagination.
hold on. Let's I'm going to ask you questions and I want you to answer as we because I want to dive into this idea, right? So what
Mhm.
is it about having cleavage exposed or short shorts that denotes a lack of respect for oneself? I want to jump into that. What is it about nudity that equals lack of respect?
Because as women, my view is men are attracted to legs, hips, thighs,
Mm-hmm.
butt, breasts. Those are things that they notice quickly. They may not remember the color of our hair, but they remember
Right.
if we
So I'm
have
going to ask
big
you I'm
boobs.
going to ask you another question right now because I really want to hone in, okay? So if I'm cutting you off, I apologize for that because I want to hone in. I don't want us to get off of topic because then we'll end up on the phone a really long time without really getting into the heart of it. Right? So just excuse me if you hear me just interrupt you, right? If a person is showing skin and you said that men are attracted to those parts of a woman's bodies, legs, breast, all of this other stuff, right? Where does the
Mhm.
lack of respect towards her come in? Why would a person want to disrespect a person that they're attracted to? How does sex and sexuality equals the giving of disrespect? That's what I want to get into.
Believe overtly putting ourselves in those positions,
Talk louder, mama.
scantily dressed, scantily dressed, causes us to put ourselves in that position. If I'm walking down the street right now with a pair of jeans on and a t-shirt, I might look sexy to some man are driving by. However, if I'm overtly trying to attract the opposite attention by excessive cleavage, the short skirts, the booty shorts, that is a problem because that means I'm saying this is all I'm worth. Look at me for what my body looks like.
Right.
Don't
So
worry about my mind.
right. So let's jump into that. Let's jump into it. And I'm glad that I have you on the phone because it's not always that I get a chance to speak with a person who feels this way, right? What is it about the the parts of our femininity showing that says that you are worthy of disrespect because I find you sexy. Like you said, you could walk down the street in t-shirts and jeans and somebody may find that sexy. Does that mean that the person has the right to disrespect you?
No, it does not mean he has the right.
Talk
We
louder.
set the tone for that.
Talk louder, please.
We set the tone for that. That person doesn't have the right to disrespect us. We set the tone for that.
Right.
However, setting the tone doesn't just mean verbally. It also means in how we present ourselves.
Right. So then let's explore that a little bit more because I spent in 2007 I spent about 6 months traveling through the Middle East, right? And as you know, in the Middle East, women cover their heads, right? So I would like to explore how is it another person finding you sexy opens up the door for that person to disrespect you based on their opinion of sexy. Because with you walking down the street with your head uncovered, you could be considered sexy to somebody. Does that mean that you are worthy of disrespect?
No, you're not worthy of disrespect. And I think it comes with educating the men as well so that they will know how to approach a woman who they may be attracted to.
Okay.
Every culture is different.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that it's going to depend on where you live, what's acceptable in your community. And when I say acceptable, I don't mean what's popular in society.
Mm-hmm.
I mean morally, what's acceptable.
So then let's jump into it. Let's jump into it. Um if a woman were walking down the street naked, no clothes on, bush out, breast swinging, does that mean that she deserves to be disrespected?
No, she does not. That does not mean she needs to be disrespected. And that, again, helps us to see why men should be educated as well.
Okay.
Because that doesn't give them a right to disrespect a woman because she's like that.
Okay. 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 All right. So when we start talking about having respect for ourselves, I want to know how does cleavage, how does arms, booty shorts, because there are men who walk around right now with their nipples showing. They walk around with their nipples showing, belly button showing, abdominal showing. But I've never heard anybody say, if you had respect for yourself, man, you would cover up your belly button, you would cover up those nipples. So I'm trying to figure out how does having cleavage showing mean that you have a lack of respect for yourself and thus people may treat you with a lack of respect. And somebody asked about me adjusting my cleavage because I want to ask, so if my shirt were down here and I have this cleavage pumped up, does that also, so let's say my I'm sitting here like this and I have this cleavage, right? Does that mean that I don't respect myself because I have this wonderful, fluffy, bouncy, jiggly looking boobs right here? Does that mean that I'm worthy of a person saying something out of turn? Now, nipples are covered up. I got the cleavage popped out. And so I want to know, does that mean that does this so I got is this overt enough? Is this cleavage overt enough for us? Is this? I want to know, do I need to push out more? Okay, so here we go. Does this mean that I have a lack of respect for myself, in your opinion, because now my boobs are pumped up?
I think the person should ask, what's the purpose? Why?
Because I want you to see my beautiful, look how nice this skin looks. It's so like, even I can even shine it up a little bit. Here we can just get some vitamin E on there. What's the purpose? I want people to see my wonderful cleavage and how smooth the skin looks. So that's the purpose. So does that mean that I have a lack of respect?
I think that a person like that would have a lack of respect because I feel we live in a society where looks are everything. Intellectual capacity for a woman, nobody cares about that. It's, what are you wearing? What's your body look like? Things like that. And I think that if we put ourselves out there as only mannequins for the men to enjoy by just eyeballing us all the time, then we're setting ourselves short. We're selling ourselves short. And
Short
why?
for
What's
what?
the purpose?
So let's try to flip that around, because I think that for far too often, and especially, starting with this girl, for far too often girls don't own their sexuality. There's somebody else who owns that sexuality. So that girl's mother has put her inside this plunging neckline, where now she has her legs open on the internet. And now, so we're talking about a lack of respect. This girl doesn't know anything about respect. She's a child. She has her legs open. She has on this plunging line spaghetti strap top. This whatever it could be called, right? This little bunny outfit. This Playboy bunnyette outfit, right? And so there are people who may consider that sexy. However, I want to know where the correlation between respect and sexiness comes from, and why is this imposed upon women, so that if we say to women, oh, if you're sexy or too sexy according to my standards, that means that you don't have respect. Why do you want people to look at you? Because the female body is a work of art. Why not look at it? It's beautiful. Look at this cleavage. Look how nice and soft this looks. How it jiggles. Isn't that beautiful? You don't think that looks good? It's wonderful. Have I lost you?
No, I'm here. I was just wanting to make sure you were finished.
Yeah,
I
go
was
ahead.
thinking when you said that, as far as how we are molded or who's more responsible for that. In this instance, this poor baby, her parents are responsible.
Right.
They have already set a tone, and I doubt that this is the first time, but they've already set a tone for her. And if nothing else, no one else comes in to shape her existence differently, she will grow up that way. Children are impressionable.
Right,
like
but I want to talk about respect. So this girl, so this girl has on this plunging neckline, her legs are open, she has on an outfit that we can all admit is a little too grown for her youngness, right? So she's being raised in an environment where the people around her obviously have no problem with the plunging neckline. So she's going to grow up thinking, okay, so there's no problem with it, until she goes out in the street and gets quote unquote disrespected. Why? Why does nudity equal a lack of quote unquote self-respect? That's the thing that I'm confused about, because a person can be naked. Well, how does that relate to lack of respect? And then we talked about men and their exposed nipples. When have we ever imposed that a man did not respect himself when he's working on a car, walking down the street, going for a jog, or at the gym with no shirt on? Has the word lack of respect ever come to your mind?
I'm 47, and so I might be a little old school here, but I've never seen my brothers, my father, go outside in public without a shirt on.
Okay.
They don't do that. It's disrespectful. It's just like taking your hat off before a woman. It's what they did. I think it's the way men are raised and what they are being molded as from children, or what they see in their own household.
You know what?
Videos they watch,
Okay.
music videos.
All right. I'm going to let you go. I appreciate you calling in. There's some other people who want to get in on the line.
Okay.
And I want us to be forthright. Okay, so thank you for calling in.
Thank you.
All right. All right. So I want to ask you all, who has ever seen the picture of a man with no shirt on? If you're calling from an unknown number, make sure that you unblock your number so that you can get through on the line. Has anybody ever seen a photo of a man with no shirt on, and we've said, oh, he doesn't respect himself because he has no shirt on? And I'd like to know, how did this become imposed upon female form? So you're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name?
Hi, my name is Monica.
Hi, Monica. So what are your thoughts?
Yes, ma'am. So I'm kind of agreeing with every other young lady that has been calling in and speaking on it. I do think that it is inappropriate. And I did want to touch back on, you asked the question earlier, and you said, I guess you were asking about sexy and why is sexy wrong. And I don't think sexy is necessarily wrong. I think there's definitely a time and a place for sex appeal.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole point of it is it's an allure to invite sexual attention or sexual interaction.
Right.
And
you
I
know
think
what?
that is highly inappropriate.
Thank you. It's inappropriate for a child. Yes, it's inappropriate to attract and allure sexual attention to you as a child. However, my question then goes on to men. Why is it that sexuality is now something that is used as punishment? I am going to punish you with my sexuality because I deem you as being too sexy. So, okay. So right now, my bosoms are all squeezed together. I pulled my shirt down low and you can see how many inches of cleavage is out here. Let me see how many inches of cleavage down here. Let's see. Okay,
3.
so this is 5 inches of cleavage and 13 centimeters of cleavage, right? So I have
Yes,
13.
ma'am.
I have 13 centimeters of cleavage showing, right? And so there's some people who are boob people. They love bosom. They like 2 bongo drums, ear back. They're just so cute, right?
Yes.
So why is it that if a person is now drawn to me physically, there's the allure. Oh, look at the bosom. I'm drawn into that bosom. Why then is male sexuality then an act of aggression, an insult to a woman? Why is it used as an insult? I'm going to hurt you with my sexual interest. Why is it not a compliment? Why is it that the ways in which a male approaches a person that they find alluring, why doesn't it happen in a way that is respectful?
I think it boils down to religion and the culture behind religion that's happened for centuries, whereas women weren't really people, they were property as well, so they didn't even own their bodies, they were owned by their husband, their father. So I think the issue with that is, and then I guess, I'm not sure, I'm not very religious myself, so I'm not sure which text says it or how the female body is very tantalizing and it causes men, to go crazy when they stare upon it for too long. And that is the reason why they ravish women, is because they couldn't resist the urge of how beautiful and tantalizing she was. They just had to have her.
Right.
So I think that's where that still comes from, is that you can be sexy because now that I'm being sexy, there's an allure. I am alluring you with my sex appeal.
Right.
And then have been taught or told that they have no control of their sexual desires, and that women being sexy is the ignition to that sex drive every single time. So if they're not sexy, I can't be turned on.
So then let's take a step back, and I'm glad that you called in. Okay. So let me ask you this question. Let's talk about the picture of the baby, right? Let's talk about the picture of the baby with that plunging halter and the shorts on, right? Let's imagine that we are walking down whatever is the most crowded street inside your city. So let's say we're walking down 3rd Avenue or Fordham Road or 149th Street or Times Square with that baby and that outfit, right? On a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being okay and 10 being very, very, very uncomfortable, how comfortable would you feel walking down the street with that baby and that outfit in the busiest part of your city, town, or neighborhood? 1 being okay and 10 being highly uncomfortable. So you on the phone, scale of 1 to 10, how uncomfortable would you be?
I would probably be about an 8.
Okay, about an 8. Okay, so the numbers are coming in. We got 10s coming in, 10s coming in, 10s coming in. Okay. We got an 8 coming in. Okay, now I'm going to flip the scenario. I'm going to flip the scenario, right? Now, I want us to imagine that we are on an island, right? We are on an island with nothing but women. There are only women on this island. Only women. There are no XY chromosomes there. Only XX. Only women. Okay? Only women. So now we're gonna change the numbers because we already used 1 to 10 and people are still coming in with 10. So listen, if you're just coming in, I want you to give a thumbs up to the video. You can close out the comment area to thumbs up the video. That matters for the YouTube algorithm. We have 200 people in here and 62 thumbs up. So go ahead and like the video. Okay. So let's say you are on an island with only women, only women. So let's say on a scale of, I want to give a different scale because I don't want to use, but it seems like that's the only thing that we can use. On a scale of 1 to 10, then we're going to do 1 to 10 again, right? Now you're in an area with only women. You're on an island with only women. There are no men anywhere on this island. How comfortable would you feel with 1 being okay and 10 being, oh, okay, hold on. So Dupree is saying let's do A to F. But then how do we know? Is F the 10th letter? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. So J is the 10th letter. So how do we know what is in the middle? That's what I'm saying. So if you are on an island with only women, 1 being okay, comfortable, 5 being neutral, and 10 being completely uncomfortable on an island with only women, and you were walking with that baby with the same outfit on, how uncomfortable would you be? 10 being very uncomfortable, 5 being neutral, and 1 being okay. So now we're getting in numbers. What's your number, Mama, on the phone?
Probably a 6.
Okay. So the number has gone down dramatically. So people are saying 5. We're getting numbers in now from 1 to 5. Most of the numbers are 1 to 5, right? With it just being neutral. So the problem is not that the outfit is sexy. The problem is, according to us, just our small sample group, the problem is the male sexual gaze. So that the gaze of the men coming into contact with that. Now, there could be some lesbians on this island. There's just women on there. However, there's something about male sexuality and the aggression thereof that would make you feel more uncomfortable. And I think that deserves being, I think that is, oh Lord, Dipped in Indigo is saying 3 because of mosquitoes. If the issue is the male sexual gaze, male sexual attention, and what a man may do to either a woman or a girl, that just like you said, so a man may find it sexual, and men have been taught that they don't have to control their sexual urges. All the way goes back to the Bible, where they were talking about how Eve tempted Adam with this damn apple. Because Adam is head of household, but he can't deal with temptation. There are nuns who get attacked by priests in the church, and they don't report it because they're like, well, there was something about my feminine allure that caused him to attack me. So if the male sexual gaze is the issue, why are we focusing our energy on girls and having girls and women hide and cover up our bodies because of men, instead of calling men to task to control themselves? What's your thought on that? And then we're going to let you go and take the next caller.
Yes, ma'am. So I think the issue with that is that would be obviously the most logical response and reaction to that, but clearly that's not happening, or it's not going to happen. I feel like, and in the perfect world, if women were in charge, that's what would happen. The issue is the reason why it falls on the onus of women is because since we do receive the brunt of the abuse and assault, we have to jump through 50,000 hoops to find ways to protect ourselves, because for centuries it has been proven that men do not want to change and they're not going to change. So instead of, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, which I guess you can say is what we're doing now anyway, we would rather jump through 1,000 hoops to protect ourselves or think we're protecting ourselves than to do nothing and let the issue continue. So we should be. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I said okay.
Okay, I said we should be teaching men self-control and not to assault women and not to think that just because a woman shows skin that she is inviting every man that sees her into a sexual encounter. That's not what that means.
Okay.
Just because I show some breasts doesn't mean I'm inviting everyone who sees me into the bedroom.
Okay.
But that's what's perceived. So
okay, and then why is, and you know what, thank you so much for calling in. We appreciated your point of view. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
All right. And so let's answer the question. How much, so the phone lines are open. We're ready for the next caller. How much longer are we going to continue to make excuses for male decision to have lack of self-control? And then the further question then is, you know, I'm sorry, I seen someone moving outside my window, so that kind of distracted me. But then the other question is, how much longer are we going to continue to deal with, the fact that sex and sexuality has been turned into some sort of battle? Why is it a battle? Why is it that we can't, one, be welcoming of the male gaze? Two, why can't the male gaze be something that is something welcoming to receive? So you're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name?
I'm Tonya. It's Ivana.
Hey, Ivana. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing pretty well. I had a challenging day today, but I ended up having the victory of it all. So
Well, that's wonderful. I need you to talk up louder, okay?
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry.
Perfect.
Okay, perfect. Okay. So just in response to what we're talking about, it has made me think about how some of the women in my community are, and specifically even women that I've worked with. I remember I went to Vegas for a conference, and I can remember one of the wives of one of my coworkers was like saying, "Oh, why does this girl have on this really cute dress over here?" And they're, looking too sexual and all this other stuff. And she was making a really stinky face the whole time. But I think, and then I took a quiz yesterday that asked, as a woman, do you hate that when other women wear clothing that can attract a male gaze? I was taking a feminine archetype quiz. So I'm wondering, is it kind of innate or within a feminine archetype for some women, certain women, to feel that showing any sort of sexuality is to be feared, or like other women showing their sexuality is to be feared, because then I guess that woman could potentially take your man.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Exactly. No, that's exactly it. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
Because men have the reputation of being so weak and corruptible and being controlled by sex and sexuality, that women have fear of other women appearing too sexual or too sexually alluring around their man, because they don't have the faith in their man that their man would be faithful. There are some mothers, even to this day, who are telling their daughters that they need to put on a house robe around the house, that she can't even wear night clothes, and she has to make sure that she comes out fully dressed, even to walk around. I wish it could only be with stepfathers, but even to walk around father and brother. Once she goes through puberty, there's some mothers out there who are like, listen, you cannot wear that in my house anymore.
Yeah.
So yes.
And it's really weird, because like you were saying, we never see that sort of, response when it comes to boys or young men or grown men. There's all types of boys that play basketball outside,
Yes.
shirtless all the time. They can go run on the track, you know, and
Yes.
have no shirt on. But let me go to the track and when I take my shirt off and I just have on my sports bra, then it's like, oh, why are you trying to show, you know, get so much attention? Or I've even heard people say, oh, I would never let my daughter wear Spanx to go to, you know, track practice
Yes.
or run in Spanx. And I'm like, it's a part of the athletic uniform.
Yes. So you know what? So that's it right there. That's it right there.
Yeah.
About men playing on the court. So that young lady who called in who said that her father and brother have never gone outside without a shirt on. I don't know how much I believe that, because it is such
Me
a
neither.
it's so commonplace for men to just take their shirts off outside. However, if you were to show your nipples outside, go jogging, because remember the movie Shaka Zulu, there were women running and the mammaries were just a swinging inside that movie. Do you remember?
I didn't see that. I'll have to watch it now. But I have the visual.
Yeah, so in the movie, because like when Shaka died, I remember it because the girl was running. She was like, Shaka! Shaka! And like her breasts were like, and so, and I think a lot of this comes back to, you know, the colonizers who went over to Africa with their puritanical views, and they were like, well, because do you know that it was that you could not legally be charged for RAPE of a black woman back in the days, because black women
Yeah.
were seen as so lascivious that she was always
Up until the 70s. Yeah.
always quote unquote wanting it, because they perceived a woman's breast exposed as being an invitation for assault. And so, you know, so
Right.
we started out the conversation talking about this baby and we veered off into another topic, because I think that it's a lot deeper than just the baby. Because when I asked the question, if we were on an island with only women, who would feel uncomfortable with the baby's outfit, and the majority of the numbers moved down real low, because because it's not so much that it's sexy, it's not so much that it's sexually alluring, it's that what will men do once because men are notorious for having the reputation of not being able to control his libido, not being able to control his lust. And I think that that's the
Right.
issue that needs to be addressed right there, so that we see a picture of this baby and all of a sudden we start imagining all of the men who are going to be looking at her. So it's like we have this dichotomy where we have these people who are walking around in our society who are bigger and stronger than us. And instead of feeling protected by them, we feel like prey of them. We feel that our children,
Yes.
this little child is 3 years old, maybe. How old do you think that girl is in the picture?
She looks about 2 years old. She's a really little girl.
You think she's about 2? Okay, so
Well,
2.
it's because I have a 2-year-old niece and she's about that size. She'll be 3 in October, but she's just that size.
Okay. And so we see this child with this plunging neckline, and so I personally feel that the picture is inappropriate, but I even have to check myself and start checking inside of myself, what is it that I feel that's so inappropriate? The pose, I just the lighting, I think it's just the fact that it's so orchestrated, I feel. And they're like, the one of the callers talked about the allure, right?
Yeah. I
However,
think that
there's
oh,
another,
go ahead.
yeah, there's another component of it that I think is inappropriate. However, let's run this by ourselves in our minds. Let's say she had on no shirt. So we have a problem with the plunging line. Let's say she took off the shirt altogether. Would the outfit be, let's do 1 and 2. Would it be, let's do 1, 2, and 3. With 2 being the same, 3 being more, and 1 being less. Would it be less appropriate if she had on no shirt, the same level of inappropriateness, or more inappropriate? So 1 is less, 2 is the same, and 3 is more. If she had on no shirt whatsoever.
You want me to answer?
Yeah.
Or just let the
Yeah.
audience?
Answer.
See, it's hard. I guess I'm so used to seeing babies in my family, around the house. They don't have on a shirt.
Right.
And I guess maybe I've been desensitized to how it can be inappropriate, but I know other people in my family have said, "Oh, your cousin posted a picture of the baby at the beach or in their backyard pool without a shirt on, and that's so inappropriate." And the baby's like 3 years old.
Yes.
So to me, I'm like,
Yes.
that's weird.
You
It's
know
not
what?
inappropriate.
Thank you. And you know what? I'm so happy that you called in, Ivana. Thank you. We're going to let you go, and we're going to open up the phone lines for the next call. So thank you so much, okay?
Yes, thank you.
All right.
All right, bye-bye.
So the overwhelming number of votes that came in is that it would be more inappropriate. When we have gotten to the stage as a people where a 2-year-old child with no shirt on is sexually inappropriate to us, we have lost. We have lost. It's done for us. When we see a 2-year-old child with no shirt on, chubby little belly and little flat chest or whatever the chest looks like, when we've gotten to the point where as a society that we think that a topless baby is too sexy, we've lost as a society. We're gone. We're gone. That's it for us. Because it's a baby. It's a baby. Now, I understand how the clothing can be inappropriate. But because like I see, because like, we all go to the beach. A 2-year-old's chest is flat. And we got these strings tied around this poor little 2-year-old's fat back for her little bikini. When the boys are able to run around inside of there's nothing covering up the boy's flat little chest. And so when we've gotten to the point where we expect for little girls to be covering what? What are they covering on the beach? Up top. And why are we in this state as human beings? I think my thing is dying. I think it's dying. I'm going to look for the cord in a moment, but uh-oh. All right, phone lines are open. Phone lines are open. 646, no, I think it's dying. Maybe it's not. All right, 323-488-3149. Because it's like, why are we sexualizing babies? Why are we teaching girls that there's something wrong with their breast? That there's something that should be hidden? And how do we get out of this state? Me personally, that image of the little girl sitting there, I personally think it would be less inappropriate if she had no shirt on at all. But I think it's I think my battery's dying. So we're at 53 minutes anyway. We're gonna take one last call. I want to hear from a guy. I want to hear from a male. All right. So I'm opening up the phone lines for a man to call in. I'm gonna look for a cord real quick to plug this in. Hold on for 1 second. 323-488-3149. 323-488-3149. And somebody saying Shannon preach. Oh, this thing is making all of this noise. Okay, let me grab this. You're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name? Hi. Hold on, I gotta plug I gotta plug in this thing before the battery dies. Hold on.
Problem.
Okay. So I got it plugged up. What's your name?
Chris.
What is it?
Chris.
Okay, it was cutting out for the first letter. So, Chris, you're on the air live. So, what are your thoughts? Let's talk, because we've been saying a lot of things, and we've said some things about men, too. So, you're the last caller of the day. So, what is your overall thought and point of view about everything we've talked about?
All right, no problem. So, my initial view of when I saw the post or saw the child, well, I'll give you a little background. I have a 9-year-old daughter myself. And, that's my baby. And when I saw it, I didn't really see the inappropriateness. Like I didn't, my mind didn't immediately go to something sexual. Um, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I didn't see that child in any type of sexual manner. I just saw it as a beautiful little girl. But as a father, I can understand, being overprotective or wanting to protect your child's innocence and protect them from predators. So I am that dude that's always, checking my daughter's clothes out, the length, the shortness, the tightness. I know that she's a woman. She's going to develop and continue to develop, and things that are there cannot be, hidden. But I just want to make sure I don't make it easy on, for predators out there. So I'm kind of with you. And actually, you just said something that opened up my eyes on the bathing suit thing, because my daughter's 9, and me and my wife, our family, like we love the water park. I'm calling from the South, so we always go to different water parks, and she's always had on one-piece bathing suits. I'm always like one-piece bathing suits, and my wife is like, what's the belly button gonna do? Well, in my mind, I always, want her to do a one-piece, and I think it was pretty interesting when you said, when you mentioned what's sexual about a flat chest, and that perspective kind of like, damn, it kind of makes sense, but still in my mind, I want my daughter covered up when we go to water parks, because I don't know what kind of weirdos there that are looking at, little girls or trying to take pictures. Everybody.
Well, let me ask
like
you. So then, let me ask you this question about on an island full of women. If your daughter if she just had on some little swimming pants or bottoms with no top on an island full of women, would you feel the same angst? No men.
Most definitely, women can be predators too. Most definitely, my first sexual experience was with an older woman when I was 11. So women can be predators too.
All right. Do you think that a woman at a water park is going to be taking pictures of your daughter and all that other stuff?
What I'm saying is, I understand that it will be perceived that men would probably be the dominant predator, but out here, man, anybody could be a predator. I live in
So hold on. Let's visualize something, right? Let's visualize. So you said when you go to the water park, right? You have a vision.
Right.
You have a vision in your mind. You don't know who may be taking pictures. When you have this vision, describe what you're envisioning. Who is it that you're thinking is taking these pictures at the water park?
So honestly, I'm gonna keep it real. Honestly, the first person that I would think would be a predator would be a man. I'll be honest.
Okay.
But
I thank you for your honesty.
Additionally, I would have to say, man, you gotta watch out for everybody out here. I don't give.
Yes. Yes. Listen, we know. Listen, we know that there are women out there who are predators as well. We know that. However, I think it's interesting. And listen, we could come on the line and we could start trying to front if we want to. But when we think of a predator, when we think of a person who is going to have deviated sexual urges towards the female form, whether that form is a child or an adult, the idea that comes to many people's minds is a male. Listen, we're not.
I can agree with that.
We're not trying
but I know
to.
the reality is,
Yes, we're not.
Have a respect of
I know. Mentally speaking, however, babies, there's something encoded in babies' genetics to be more fearful of male faces than female faces, because the babies that were more fearful of the male faces lived. The ones who were not, who just let any man pick them up, etc., those were the babies who ended up getting harmed. There were men back in the days who caused more harm to babies. So encoded inside of the genetic coding of even babies. I was watching this documentary where they were showing pictures over the crib. We're talking about babies who don't know how to speak yet. They showed pictures and they had like the nodes on the baby. the baby had accelerated heart rate and feelings of fear towards the pictures of the male face over the female face. So we can't front and act like males have not been problematic throughout the ages.
So I understand. So I get what you're saying, and even though that does sound bizarre, if it's real, it's real. I've never heard of that, but I'm not gonna dispute you on it. So if what you're saying is true, I mean, what do non-predatory men? What type of response are you looking for from me? You know what I'm saying, or what are you saying that men need to do? Like, with that type of statement, I mean, are you just talking, or are you? Is it a call to action? Like, where do we go from there?
And you know what? And I think and that's a really good question. So thank you for asking that. We're gonna get ready to wrap up the show today. It was a really great show, so I appreciate you being the only guy who called in. So thank you. I think step one is to become more aware. To not just say, oh, she has a lack of respect for herself, or oh, this is inappropriate, but let's ask the question why. Why do we think that this person has a lack of respect? Why do we think that this is inappropriate? Who is it that we envision? What is coming to our mind? What comes up for us? So I think the very first step.
I
go ahead.
One last question for you. I got one last question for you before you put me off the line. So I listened to this show, and I did listen to the previous show regarding the whole the wage imbalance thing, and I feel you on your topics. But my question is, when I listen to YouTubers in regards to relationships or the relationship between black man and black woman, as a black man who's married a black woman who works, my wife, she don't have to work, I take care of business. When I listen to the commentary, I'm just kind of like on the outside looking in, because it's like, all I can do is just take care of my people. And I can talk, take care of my son, teach him what's right, teach my daughter what's right, and, put my little ripple into the world through them. When I hear women talk, I almost feel compelled, like, do you want men that are not living that type of lifestyle to go into the community and say, hey, I need to get y'all shit together?
Yes.
Like, I hear the topic over and over in years.
Yes.
But what do the men who
go to the
trying to take care of their family?
Go to the Boys and Girls Club, volunteer, big brothers, big sisters. Put the idea out there, because apparently there's a lack of male guidance, a lack of male presence. Like, even at
that's a lot. That's a lot, actually, because I got work, I got my family, and I feel what you're saying. But that's asking a lot of one man to go out there and take on the community when my first priority is the community within my home.
You asked what you could do, right? You asked what you could do. So it's like, we have these conversations where we're like, oh, we're against abortion. Oh, why is there so much crime? Oh, why are black people looked at this way? Oh, why are black men feared? Oh, why are the police shooting down black? So listen, each one teach one. I understand you have a family. I understand. But if everybody thought that way, then there'd be nobody reaching back. I get my black ass up and I go and I volunteer best that I can every single year. I give back and I help young people who are underprivileged, because if they're people like you, you have a message. You have a message. However, you're focusing on what it is that you can't do, what it is that you are doing, instead of what it is that we all need to do. It's like, okay, so you could sit there and you could listen. You could sit there and you can listen to the complaints of black women, and you can sit there and be like, well, I'm taking care of my one family, this, that, and the other. However, your daughters are going to need husbands when the time comes. And if everybody's sitting around talking about, oh, well, this is what it is, when it comes time for your daughter you said you got a 9-year-old daughter?
9-year-old daughter and a 14-year-old son.
Okay.
I listen to you and Derek Jackson. I'm always like, oh, well, that ain't me. Shit.
Yeah, well, you know what? Listen to this. Listen to this, baby. I don't talk about my family because I don't think that it really has much bearing. But I get a lot of people who come on my videos and they feel that the point of view that I have this point of view because I was raised by a single mother, or I didn't have, or that I hate black men. And I had to make a video. I did a whole video specifically to this, but many people didn't watch it because it's not sensationalized title. I love men and I love black men. And because of this love that I have is why I make these videos calling this out, because the conversations need to be had. I was raised, listen, I don't feel this way because because and you know what the thing, I don't feel this way out of context. I was raised in a home with a father. And my father had the same conversation with me that you probably have with your daughters, and that first caller who called in from the last show, her father had with her. Don't bring home no bum. Find a man who can take care of you. Because men, when they have daughters, they have those conversations with their daughters. However, we got too many bum ass N-words on the internet nowadays whose fathers never had those conversations with them, who expect to come into contact with other people's daughters and be like, well, why won't you take me out on a date? Why won't you do this?
Can I speak on the bomb situation? Because I didn't get a chance to call in on that.
You know what? I wish you would have called in on the last show, because you know what? You know what we can do? What we can do is we can come back in and we can do another show, because once the videos start going over an hour, then YouTube starts to constrict the views of the video, because YouTube likes 10 minutes videos, and every moment we go over 10 minutes. So do you all want to come back in and continue the conversation that we had earlier about Tamika and Keith?
I just got one statement that I want to make.
Go ahead, make the statement. Make the statement.
All right, here's the thing. So I got married at 21.
Oh God, this is gonna be a story. You know what we're gonna do? Hold on. Listen. We're gonna end the video right here, and we're going to start another video. We're gonna bring it up. What should the topic of the next video be?
We can piggyback on your last video, because I just wanted to make one statement to kind of break everything down for everybody.
Okay, and I want to give you the time to make that statement. So what should the title of the video be? Should we just finish it off with Tamika and Keith part 2?
Part 2.
All right, so listen. So we're gonna end this broadcast right here, and just like the last broadcast, I need you to refresh your page and come back. Tell me your name again. Chris. All right, and then we're going to get Chris to come back on the line. We're going to hold the lines open for Chris to be the first caller. He's going to tell us the story, and we're also going to hold his feet to the fire to get him to volunteer with some young boys out there, because our 9-year-old daughters are going to need husbands in 10, 20, how many years? What age of people? You know what? Black women are getting, I think the average age of a black woman getting married now is almost 30. So your daughter's going to need a husband in 20 years.
I'll be cool with that for my daughter at about 29, 30. I don't want her to get married as young as I did.
Okay. Looks like there is a story there. So listen, we're going to get off of this line. Thank you so much. And then we're going to hold the line. Okay. All right. So listen, what we're going to do is we're going to come back for Keith and Tamika part 2. So this has been a fun day. We're going to go into our 3rd hour doing a show going back to the very first show. So listen, I am Tonya Tko. On my website, I sell this vitamin E once a year. And the vitamin E is what helps keep my skin so clear and so plump and looking so good. Also on my website, this is the black and white copy. The affirmations book is still in pre-order, but it's on its way out of pre-order, and so I want you to go pre-order yours. There's also free MP3s for you to get on my website. When you go to TonyaTko.com, you sign up for the mailing list in the shop area. The coupon code is right there for you to get the Relax MP3 for free. I want you to refresh the page. We're going to come back and do part 2. We're going to do part 2 talking about black women taking care of black men and or vice versa. All right. So listen, Tonya Tko, and I'm out. Go out there and love one another. But most importantly, what? Love yourself. And part of loving yourself is let's say having these discussions, keeping an open mind, asking why, and challenging some of your former thoughts, and having conversations with people who have different points of views. All right, so listen, we're going to get out of here and we're going to just refresh the page. I'm going to end this broadcast. And remember, because we're doing back-to-back lives, YouTube is not going to send you a notification for the new live video. You're going to have to find it on your own. So if you're on this broadcast right now, make sure that you thumbs up the video and make sure that you hit the bell for notifications so that you will know when I'm going live. Because like I said, YouTube is not going to let you know. So I'm going to go live and there's only going to be a few of you who are diehard watchers and followers who are going to be able to see the notification. So we're coming back in and we're going to be talking about the Black love. We're going to be talking about Black love and It Takes a Village, and we're going to be talking about the disparity in wage and whether or not Black men want to be treated like women. All right, so listen, we're going to do that right now. Tonya TKO.